Bernard. With me is Tracey Mitchell, and this is Culinary Quickies, a web series featuring dishes that aren't necessarily quick, but the episodes certainly are. Tracey, what are you making today?
Severance soup.
Severance soup. Severance as in separation from employment soup?
Severance as in Severance Hall.
Ah, in Cleveland, home of the Cleveland Orchestra.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's the origin of the name?
There was a fantastic restaurant there in Severance Hall.
Okay.
And they served this amazing soup, and this is in memory and honor of that soup.
Well, wonderful. I see lots of ingredients I adore. I'm going to step aside and you go.
I've drained the scallops. Now we're going to dry them off to get a good sear. Otherwise, if you put too much moisture in the pan, they're going to steam, and we don't want that. Now we're going to saute the pancetta and then sear the scallops in that fat. Save the goo. If there are any overdone bits, pick them out. But don't throw away that fat because you're going to need it to saute the vegetables. Yay! So, we put a saute pan on medium to medium-high heat. We're going to pour about 1/4 of a cup of water in to render some of the fat from the pancetta, and then that will help it brown. We're ready to sear the scallops. Whoops. And because that doesn't look quite enough fat for these scallops, I'm going to add just a touch of olive oil. Not much. We're trying to keep this low in fat. All right. In they go. In go the vegetables. We have onions, celery, garlic. I'm giving the onions a head start before we add the celery and garlic. Here goes the celery. You can see the celery becoming a brighter green and more translucent. So now we'll add the garlic. We've added the garlic late in the stage because we want it to have a little bit more bite in the soup. It's a very fresh soup. Oh. The vegetables are all cooked down and sauteed, so we're going to add a little broth to the pan to pick up the must in the bottom of the pan, those brown bits that are still at the bottom. They'll impart a sweetness. Right, now this is turning a lovely caramel color. That means we've successfully lifted the must off the bottom of the pan. That, as I said, is going to add a little bit of sweetness. We're going to give it a little bump with some sherry. Just a sploosh. Time for the beans to go into the broth. You can give a few of them a mash. Next, the vegetables. Next, the roasted red bell pepper. Now our herbs. Rosemary, sage, thyme, Our soup is almost done. We're going to allow the flavors to meld for about 5 to 10 minutes while we saute the artichoke bottoms. The artichoke bottoms are browning. We're going to add a little lemon to brighten them up. So I'd say this process takes about 5 to 8 minutes. Great color on those. Now we're adding them to the soup. We'll stir those in. I've deglazed the pan and we're adding that to the soup. Now it's time to add the scallops, the pancetta, the smoked salmon. And finally, we add fresh parsley, or spike of green, and we're done.
So, the finished product?
Yes.
Severance soup?
Yes.
All right, well, if this tastes anywhere near as good as it looks, we are in for a treat tonight. Shall I?
Yes.
All right, going in. Here goes.
Speechless.
Speechless, but wow. This is wonderful. This involved a fair bit of fresh produce, did it not?
It did.
And a bit of prepared produce.
Yes.
Some roasted red peppers, courtesy Melissa's Produce. Melissa's provides all of the produce that we use in these demos, so a very big thank you to them. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us early and often. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
With a surprise. We don't know what it is, but we know it'll be delicious. We'll see you soon. Severance soup!